This is my broadcast for Monday, November 10, 2025. I broadcast because Karine Jean-Pierre, the 35th White House press secretary, said silence is complicit. The city of Delray Beach was just like that for me. Karine was pushed out of her job, and I was also pushed out of my job. That's a different video. The city of Delray Beach, I visited Monday, October 28, 2025. A lot has been done. I printed up these to promote my broadcast and hand them out. I also took a picture of Eastern Atlantic Avenue. It's so exciting. I used to work for the city of Delray Beach, and then at night, the architect for the city, he was a bartender. It was pretty crazy. And that's the Blue Community Store. I got Jamaican beef patties there, and I got grits, eggs, and bacon there. That's my grits, eggs, and bacon, $10 with coffee. And that's the Jamaican beef patty at the Blue Community Market. Yeah, they have a microwave in the back, so it's like $1.50 for the Jamaican patties. And they finished construction of Sunday Village. I need to encourage all the older people in the business world and those who have discouraging circumstances. I'm intrinsically motivated. Harvard Business Review always helped me in my classes. I don't like Harvard University or the people who attended Harvard University, but Harvard Business Review has always been a trusted business and financial publication. Like one article said, defending a good company from bad investors. Here are some covers for Harvard Business Review. You have to keep a positive attitude no matter what age you are, no matter what your circumstances are. Inspired by the Dakinis, Dr. Arikana Shiomborikwa, Aisha Corey, Sandra Appiah, and Kamala Harris. And of course, we have the auditors. I completed my audit. I have an audit video. I mailed it off to two professors right now. And Bill Gates said that $200 billion should be paid to Africa, and he would do it. I had an audit of $50 billion for 31 countries. Jean-Bertrand Aristide historically said that Haiti should be paid $21 billion for its independence debt. Dr. Arikana Shiomborikwa is a global auditor, and she exposed the IMF loan interest exploitation. US was paying 1.9% interest on loans. Africa was paying 9 to 20% interest on loans. Forever defeated. Professor Victor Gore is a global equity auditor, and Professor Zhang Weiwei, he's at another university, and he seems to be involved in global economy. It would have been so easy to do to leave my son in Jamaica to jump the fence to school. It's our value system. My mother bought a house in front of the elementary school, so I'd be safe. I just had to go across the street. A judge was needed for this situation with a child in the gifted class, a mother who has been working since she was 17. The house equity was partly from my family's business that was in Jamaica, went to New York and came to Florida. And a judge was needed just to keep women and children safe. So, since I am a person with 5 sisters and I grew up with 9 girls, misogyny is a very important subject to me. How hot is it? Wow. When you have been run into the ground, the misogyny is very hot. When you hurt women, you hurt children. It does not matter how good the houses look. What values are you teaching the children? Dr. Jordan Peterson said be literate and compelling. He's a clinical psychologist. Here's one of his books. So this is just a slide from my audit. It was just, this is a man right here, and the water that was being wasted was all the way up like that. It's quite a bit of water, and Africa was going to pay for $5 billion for a dam, but the IMF was charging them 20% interest rate, so they couldn't do it. And the children need water to drink water in the morning and wash up in the mornings. So there are some sanctions against the judges of the ICC, and the ICJ. We did have two American judges apologize to Africa, and this is the ICJ here. And the ICJ is actually sending the court out to different countries. Donald Trump said they weaponized the US court, and I was in US court and I felt like they treated him like a clown. I just did a deposition and I was on the witness stand. They reversed Roe versus Wade, and so 196 countries can see that the United States court is invalid. And Donald Trump said we won the case at the ICC, which validates international courts. So Africa was pushing through to the ICC, and now the Caribbean has to push through to the ICC because of the military presence disrupting the Caribbean. Here's another point about misogyny. A domestic court did not convict anybody in the murder of O.J. Simpson's wife. It was a very bloody situation. Her throat was cut. These are her sisters who still don't understand what happened. I tried to communicate with them because I was a victim of a lot of misogyny, and I contacted the FBI, and then I had the last word with the FBI because it seems like they're busy with something else. So I tried to get through to the CIA, and I don't know what will be the result of that. So I had to come up with acronyms, and I noticed that the European Union was helping Jamaica with the hurricane relief, and they were coming up with acronyms also. They had an acronym named START, and I really have to make it a priority to thank people for helping Jamaica with hurricane repair. I'd just like to speak about one business since I was a business major at FAU. It's Cali Group. John Miller is the CEO, and this is the kind of robot, it's a restaurant robot which is going to be replacing people. And I also saw the Chinese police robot, and that's a different video because we have to explain the reason why you have to have Chinese police robot instead of people as police. So my whole issue was not about the house. This was the house where my son was living at when he tested gifted at 6 years old. And this is a school. The issue was about his gifted class. That's him in Jamaica safe with my grandmother, and my mother's right there. And if I could have predicted what the situation would be today, I would certainly have left him right there. Because at that house, that's a bunker house, and they don't permit bunker houses in the United States. The only one who gets a bunker house in the United States is the president. And the house was also right across the street from the elementary school, so my son would be very safe. But he would never understand it his whole life, why I'd have to stay in Jamaica. But it would have been so easy to do to leave him there. I miss my sons a lot. So deeply I love my first child, and so protective of my second child. How did I let this happen? These are my sons. Frank Pepito is my friend. He was a sound engineer traveling to 30 countries. He said we should enjoy life. And the Jehovah's Witnesses have a magazine that says enjoy life too. I need to take Plum Market off. That's up in North Palm Beach County where I like to go. But when I went up there, I was bullied so much that I came back down. But the plum market is really beautiful compared to Whole Foods market. I don't know why John Sarbanes won't run for president because he just knows about the people up there in Maryland and he can see the problem. The same problems in Maryland are the same problems in Florida. He said we should work with integrity, work hard. Here's my favorite celebrity, Aisha Curry. And Steph is like my father. When I was 9, my father demonstrated how Cuban fighters live so that I'd be prepared for today to be brave no matter what they put in front of me. I'm trying to get to certain milestones here in the United States. This is some news clips about the military presence in the Caribbean. And if Donald Trump did not take away USAID, all these educated African people would not be blowing the whistle and telling everything bad that has been done. But Sandra Appiah was speaking about in UK, they imported people from the Caribbean to do some work and then deported them after that. So I don't remember who this person is, but she was speaking about the US military disrupting the Caribbean and it's not about drugs, which the AI says that it's illegal for them to, it's breaking international law to bomb a cartel boat without a conviction. So we know it's just about disrupting the Caribbean. When in fact the problem, if you look at the AI, the problem is a failed ecosystem in the United States. That's a different video. But here are some users explaining that when they fall out, they'll put them back in rehab. And these are the Jehovah's Witnesses who stopped millions and millions of people from taking drugs and get addicted to alcohol. This is 7 million protest no kings in the USA. That's the Paradise Bank. As Karine Jean-Pierre said, people are living rent-free in our brain. So we hope that the Caribbean can put their heads together, because I have a heads together video which shows Castro and Norman Manley putting their heads together, even though they were different ideologies. One was communist, one was socialist. They still did trade and different things together. So Caribbean has to get their heads together now. As the president of Venezuela said, we want peace forever, and the only way we'll have peace forever if we put our heads together in the Caribbean and all stand up to the bullies who coming into the Caribbean and take them to the international courts. That's a picture of Norman Manley and Castro there. They were, Michael Manley aligned with Castro's foreign policy. He didn't agree with everything he did, but you can work together on little things if you can't work together on everything. Trade is one of the most important things, and food sustainability in the Caribbean. This is my international human rights attorney with her peers, but she doesn't communicate as much as me. I think she's too busy because she's an international human rights attorney and then want to be an MP too. So I just need to hear her from her more. And this is a hurricane in Jamaica. It's very bad. And this is the retirement parish for the diaspora in Jamaica. The water is up to the roofs here, so that's pretty bad. I feel that the future population of USA will not be the right place for me. The USA court is invalid and weaponized. The culture seems dominated by Lucifer, and people tolerate lies, drugs, and immorality.